I truly believe that our working relationship between talent manager / agent is very different. And I personally love it, but I'd love to hear from you why you think it's different than others and the advantage of it. I think it's an advantage.
Yeah. I mean, look, I always hear it's like, oh, don't get too close, or like, it's not personal. And look, I understand in business things aren't personal, but for me, it is personal.
Yeah.
It is personally my business that I own. So yeah, it's personal. But it's also personal for the person on the other side too, right? I talk to you guys more than I talk to 99% of the people in my life. And you kind of just
our family.
Yeah, you naturally like grow close to these people. And I'm very close with all my clients. We travel together for fun and for work. And you get to have this beautiful relationship with someone and you get to see them thrive. Like, I am happy when I know you're okay and organized and got money in the bank, like all of that, you know, and it is getting to know people. And that goes back to figuring out who you want to work with. Because if you don't get along with someone, if you don't want to hang out with them, grab a drink with them, or go to dinner with them, like, why would you want to work with them?
Right. Totally.
You know?
That makes sense. I know that I just couldn't have, like, if I didn't have this working relationship, I just wouldn't do this at all.
For sure.
That's how I feel about it. And I really do hope that every talent can find their medium of this, because I think there needs to be a level of this to succeed. Jess, welcome to the party. I'm so excited to have you here. I can't believe we actually made this happen. I feel like you've been trying to dodge me, but of course, you're our bonus episode. So welcome. Thank you for making the time.
I mean, happy to be here. I've watched all of them and watched you, and now I get to be a part of this.
You're like, I had no choice. You drove me here.
Yeah, exactly.
So for those of you who don't know, Jess and I have worked together. She's been my agent, my manager, my right hand for a very, very long time, which we're about to get into. Quite literally, my lifeline. We've seen the highest of the highs together. We've seen the lowest of the lows together. And I don't know that I like to say that I don't think there's another talent-agent relationship like ours, but I think we have to start from the beginning. We've known each other for 9 years now. How did we even meet?
Gosh,
I had to actually think about this.
I followed you. Mm-hmm. I was also new to the space.
Right.
And I was working with my first client, which was Nikki.
Yeah.
And you guys were friends, but we went to breakfast or something because you were in town for something. And Nikki was like, you need to meet Tish.
Yes.
She's competing. Like, she needs help with brand stuff, blah, blah, blah. And you were so skeptical. You were like,
I was.
You did not, still don't trust anybody. And
that's so funny.
I was like, I'm not even going to try and sell this girl. Like, I can't do that, especially with the client there. But we got to know each other. And I think that's what helped. Like, the foundation of working with a friend that you trust and then just getting to know each other was great. And then I think I just reached out and I was like, hey, you know, you were just starting to do a bunch of stuff on social media.
Yeah, more so than
And that's kind of when I was doing my deep research of like, what the hell is going on in women's golf? Like, what's happening? What is this? Like, why aren't more people paying attention?
Right.
So, and that's kind of it. And I think I just kept bothering you. And you're like,
the rest is history.
You're like, we'll try it out.
Yeah. Well, okay. So first impressions of each other.
Oh.
Of during when we met.
Oh, I knew you were going to be like a big deal. Like,
thank you. I don't think I was expecting that answer.
Well, and I think that comes with being a talent representative, right? Or brand building in any sort. It's really seeing something before it happens or what the potential is. And I think with you, with your personality, with your competitiveness, and you just not being shy to be on camera, your attitude towards things, I feel like there was something there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. First impressions on my end, clearly I wasn't thinking about us working together. And I don't even know if you remember this. We met like in the earlier part of the year. She was like, it's just going to be hard for us to work together if we have different, different representation. And she was like, this is what Jess has done for me. And when she told me that, I was like, okay, let's have this conversation. You and I had a call come winter. And I remember being on the phone and I asked you, I was like, would you even be interested in working with me? And it was like the longest pause of my life. And you were like, yeah. And I asked you, would you even want to? And so that was crazy. And I think even after like 2 to 3 years into working with one another, because now it's been 8, I, as she said, have a very hard time trusting people. And I think 3 years in, I remember this very vividly. You were like, Tish, you have to let go. Like, you have to let me do my job. If you don't let me do my job and you're still out here trying to get your own deals, then I can't help you. And I was like, okay, fine.
Or communicate or ask 5,000 questions. Trust me. Right. When I know, you'll know.
But I feel like that's the hardest thing, right? Like, I mean, a lot of other talents also feel this way. So
understandably so. I think it's, it's your lifeline, especially if you are relying on it for money. But I think a lot of times I think it's two-sided. I think managers and agents get a bad rep, but I also think talent gets a bad rep.
Yeah.
So for being bad clients. So it's like, I think it really does depend on the person and making sure that they like gel and get along and can eventually trust each other. But yeah, you got to let go sometimes. And that's the hardest part. But if you trust, A, the process, but B, who you're working with, that's where you have to give the chance for people to prove themselves to you, which I feel like 8 years later I have. But
well, after the 3 years,
you still freak out sometimes, but like
no, this is it for a very long time. You're very much stuck with me. But okay, I would love to actually dive into like your background. And so before you even got into the golf world, what were you even doing?
I was on the brand agency side, so like PR agencies, marketing agencies,
like mainstream, like
across different industries, fashion, lifestyle, social impact, celebrity marketing, parties, guest lists.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff. A lot of activations, kind of in that like what Coachella is now, like the start of that was really a big part of it with the celebrity partnerships. And then I just jumped around in agencies working in their celebrity divisions. And, agency world burns you out. And I was just tired. And I really enjoyed working with the talent whenever I was doing campaigns or projects. And I didn't understand why their agents or team members weren't getting them better deals. Or that was also the time when social media was starting to become like really monetized, where a lot of reps didn't understand how to do that outside of people's endemic jobs.
Right.
So I left and was just freelancing for some friends, celebrity friends, brands that I had worked with. And that dives into the golf space, which was a complete random accident, to be honest.
Which was like, that's exactly my next question is, so how long ago was this and how did golf fall into your lap?
This was 2017.
Okay.
But golf, like I grew up on a golf course. My dad golfed all the time. That was like our thing outside of going to other sporting events. And, growing up in San Diego, you can find a golf coach anywhere. So
yeah, that's true.
And I played softball my whole life and tennis. And so I felt like, okay, I got the hand-eye coordination playing with my dad's clubs, And funny thing, he's left-handed, but golf's right-handed. Yeah. So I was able to use his clubs. So A, playing softball, and B, growing up using men's clubs. Like, okay, I got this. Got a coach, fell completely obsessed with golf. And I was doing it recreational. I was like the only girl at, the public range here in LA, like doing my thing when my friends are going to yoga. And the more I talked about loving golf in business, I would get invited out or to like meet certain people and then just curiosity, trying to understand what the business was. And I was just hooked from there. And that was 2017. And I met a few LPGA players through some other like agent friends and stuff. And I was like, what is going on? Like, what is women's golf? Like, where are the deals? What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, where's your social media?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Right.
And so
that's interesting.
And then understanding, the massive discrepancy, in my opinion, but also fact.
Fact.
of the money, between men and women. And so I just kind of made it my mission. I was like, one way or another, like, I am going to do something about this. I don't know how. I know nobody and I know nothing. And I know when I bursted in like a wrecking ball, it was not welcomed and not liked. But I just knew that was my mission. Like, creator economy was so real and alive outside of golf. Golf was still living in like,
always delayed.
I'm not even going to say it, but like, we all know. But I was like, well, guys, what are we doing here? So I was like, that's it. You know why? Because this next generation, this next wave of players, you included, even though you weren't, going to be competing, that was the next wave coming. And you knew how to use social media. You knew how to use your phone. And so I'm like, oh my God, these younger players, they're athletic looking. They take pride in what they look like and what they're wearing. And they have a phone in their hands.
Right.
This industry is not ready.
Yeah.
Like, they have no idea.
I know. I feel like we're just now kind of getting there with especially the newer generation of golfers.
Well, I think from an industry side, it's finally taken on. And I do feel like, as much as anyone wants to fight me on it, I feel like I was a part of that. Myself and my former partner of my other agency were a huge part of really, coming in as a stronghold, but educating brands and the industry on the why and the importance of social media outside of just transactional deals, right?
So now that you're in golf, what is your favorite part about working in golf? And then your least.
God, how long do we have?
I know.
No, I would say there's definitely, today, there's more positives than negatives. I will say, when I was getting started, I felt like I was just getting punched in the head every day, but still feels that way every now and then, at least once a week, but it's less than every day. I would say my favorite part is being able to work with people that I just am so inspired by and believe in. And even if they're not my clients, like, there's so many people in this industry that I look up to and do inspire me every day. And then there's those that challenge me every day. And I will say that really gets me out of bed.
Yeah. That's actually more inspiring to work harder. Yeah.
The challenges get me to where I want to go. And so I appreciate the challenge. I would say the least, that's actually my favorite part. That's not my least favorite part. I think my least favorite part is, it grew so fast since COVID.
Yeah.
And I think it really expanded, and there's like all these segments and all these demos now and all these people. And it's like the loss of etiquette and blah, 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 like got crazy out of hand. And growth is obviously incredible, puts money in all our pockets. But it's also kind of like, as someone that didn't know the industry and the rich history of it, and like, so it's like the lack of respect, and like that's been really challenging to find that balance of being like positively disruptive.
Yeah.
So keeping on that disruptive lane that I've always strived to be in, but staying positive at the same time, and like trying to reel things in people. And I would say that's a little bit challenging, but it does inspire more education, and it's opened up a lot of doors. So
yeah, I guess, that comes with extreme growth.
Also, no time off.
Yeah. But that's also entrepreneur life.
Yeah, but then you mix it with an industry that like literally has no off season.
That is true.
Because when there's an off season, there's another season on the other side of the world. And it's just like, it's every week of every month all year long, which is really cool, but it's also really exhausting.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
But I love
it. But you also love working.
I'm a masochist.
Yeah. Okay. Love that. So my next question is, now that we're going back to our journey, why did you want to work with me?
I already told you.
Or like, what did you see? Like, what, I guess, we're going to dive into it later, but I think I feel like there's a lot of people who could do what I do, and you can work with anyone.
Definitely not.
But I felt like you sought after me at the same time. And
because you're one of the hardest workers I've ever met, and you go all in literally in anything you do. Like,
we'll say that a lot.
It's always 150%. It's not even 150%. It's 1,000%. And it's a lot. Like, we struggle sometimes because we're just going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and there's so much going on, and there's always something going wrong. Always. Does not matter.
With like 10 projects happening. And
it's either the flight or the tech or the
bad travel days.
It's a lot, but you get it done. You always get it done. You know, the complaints come later, but like you do the job, right? And like you understand the assignment. And I think the difference too is like really thinking about these quote unquote creators or these people that maybe toggle between an athlete and a creator, or they're just an influencer. Maybe they're a coach and creator. Like you understood what it meant to create content, create brand partnership opportunities as a player at a really young age and before it was big in the space. And you put in the work and then you saw what it did for you.
Right.
And you kept going and going and going. Like you valued it. It wasn't just like a nice thing to have. And
I definitely enjoyed
you're
the process,
passionate, you're creative, you're collaborative in the process. You're not just like expecting some, you know, transactional thing. And I think as you've grown, even in those first couple years, it's like your creative ideas for these brands that they wouldn't have thought of.
Right.
And so that was like, okay, she's got it. Like she's gonna be big.
I appreciate that.
But it's also your eye for what's coming. Like you always knew like the trends and then like I couldn't even keep up. Yeah. Whether it was me or, and I know other people wanted to work with you, which won't name names. But
yeah, even while knowing I'm with you too.
Yeah. Oh, still till this day.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, that's bold. But anyways, I'm a Leo and I'm loyal, so that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
Have you had or favorite brand or work trip that we've ever done together? We've gone
so
on
many.
A lot of trips, guys. It's honestly sometimes we're like we wake up and we don't even know where we are.
Waste management for sure, just because it's always fun. It's like fun and work, and we're so close to the team, and they've kind of grown as a little family for us too. And and it's when we all kind of come together, like everybody. You know, but outside of that, like we've done some cool stuff, like you being on Forbes' first ever women's sports panel.
Wow, I did forget that.
So, you know, seeing you do stuff that has never been done before. And that's the other thing too. Since day one, you've always been the first.
Thanks. I can't be the one to say that, but thank you.
The first to do literally anything, everything.
I'm sure people will fight me on that.
I have a list.
But I mean, no, going back on the trips, I feel like I would have to agree with you for favorite trips. WM, for those of you who have never been to the waste management tournament, like it's so much fun, but more specifically, they do this thing called the breakfast run. Is it on the Saturday of the tournament?
Yeah,
the
Saturday
morning of, it's like 5 a.m. They open the gates and there are people camping outside of the gates, and then they open the gates and they can bolt to the 16th hole where first come first serve and seating on the 16th hole is the craziest. And we, and you know, WM being a client of ours, we were able to be on the grounds of the 16th hole, passing out burritos, hats, just entertaining. I'll never forget, I started bouncing a ball in the middle of it and people were screaming. A burrito did come flying back at us. That part got, I was like...
people got hit in the head with burritos.
Few girls got hit. She got hit by a burrito. That was...
Poor girl.
That was definitely a little insane, but that would have to be one of my favorite ones. So now I want to dive into your career. You first were kind of freelancing, right? And then you decided, okay, I'm going to go full force and I'm going to create an agency. So what was that process like in creating Digital Golf Collective?
Well, I kind of had my fallback company for everything I do, McAlister & Co. It's just been... I have a ton of businesses, so they just all funnel under that. But I was like, okay, this has to be its own thing. Like, it has to be a special, perfect thing. And I remember thinking about names, and everybody thought it was such a weird name at first because they're like Digital Golf Collective. What does that mean?
What do you
mean?
I'm like, it's so straightforward.
I'm like, you'll see. Like, you'll see. Like, what I want to build is a collective of people. Yeah, people, places, things, and digital golf. Like, golf is going to be digital. I'll make sure of that. Yeah.
No, it is. Everything is going digital. Let's be real. Yeah.
And so it was like, it just felt so real. It's a very long name, especially when creating an email.
That's
oh my
true.
God. Should have just done
You should have just done the acronym. You should have done the acronym.
Anyways, learned a lot of lessons. More ways than one. But I got a business partner. I knew, like, me as a young girl in the space, I wasn't going to get as far as I needed to or wanted to unless, unfortunately, like, it would have been really cool to have a female partner, but I felt just where the industry was, I needed a male partner that people respected and liked and was already kind of in the space. And so got to know him a little bit, and we got on so well, and like we knew all the same people, and he felt like the best like partner at the time, and he was all in. All in.
We've been saying that a lot.
He was. Yeah. And we built something so incredible. Like we changed the industry is what we did.
In a short amount of time.
Within the first 2 years, like we actually did this in 2018. It was like the end of 2018. No, 2019 is when I saw him out. Mm-hmm. And we had been doing stuff, and then we launched. It was like 9/19/19. So it was like 9/19/2019 is when we went public with him. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. I don't know why we did that, but
yeah,
whatever. And then and then COVID hit, and we had each other's backs, and like we're like, we got to stick this out. Like we're gonna win, because there were a lot of people that we were working with doing really cool stuff like Topgolf and stuff that you've never seen done before. This kind of when Malbon was coming up too. We worked with them. Like we actually were doing a party house, media house with them at Pebble Beach when the world was shutting down.
That's actually so true.
I got sick.
Oh my gosh.
And they locked me in the master bedroom for 3 days. Yeah. And we truly did go to the moon. Like it was the craziest experience probably ever. But we grew so fast. And we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, I mean, you guys ate up the golf space literally from a digital perspective.
Social
creators,
media,
personalities, hosts,
brand partnerships,
some players. It got to that point.
Yeah, and we were working with the biggest brands in the space,
literally the biggest.
And it was cool. And then we got to the point where we're like, oh, now what? We didn't know how to hire people, and we're like, what do we do? Like, we're overwhelmed. We didn't know what to do with the money because we didn't need help. Like, we were on the moon or past that, actually. We're in another dimension. Right. But we didn't have any infrastructure. And we knew we really needed that kind of support if we wanted to support our clients properly. We talked to a few different agencies. People had approached us since COVID.
I remember you saying that.
To buy us or invest or strategic partners, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, no, we're not doing that yet. Like we have a point to prove. But then we were both like, okay, it's time. Like we're tired, you know? And we found some partners, and it was a process. Actually, they found us.
And not just any partners. Yeah.
Yeah. And we went through with it, and we sold it to a world-renowned agency,
right?
The best in what they do in the digital side, not necessarily sports, but they understood what we were trying to do,
right? And
we felt like they could support us in that way. Mm-hmm. But we sold the company, and that was interesting. Mm-hmm. And
do you mind me sharing with who?
With DBA, which is the subsidiary of UTA.
Just one of the biggest agencies, which I don't like. Has anyone done that in the Gulf? So, do people build agencies and get bought by bigger agencies?
I still believe I'm still the only, outside of Cassette, like with what she's doing now, but before, like the only female owned brand marketing and talent management agency in golf, which is like really cool to say out loud, but also really sad. Like, how
sad,
not
but
more
cool,
women?
But someone has to be the first. And I think regardless of the process and, however it ended up changing, like the way your company is internally and what have you, like, I still think that's such a phenomenal
It was really
feat.
Cool. I think it helped a lot in some ways. It was wildly chaotic. And here's the thing. It's not just this deal. Like, if anyone's ever sold a company, they know the diligence and like the leading up to selling a company will basically kill you.
Right.
And then it's the selling of the company. And it was just interesting. And look, I also hadn't worked for anybody.
Right.
For like a long time.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of relearning curves, I'll say. And for someone who's as bullish as me, I think that can be tough for everybody.
Right.
But no, I mean, we stayed on, we grew and changed the business a little bit, but it was also going in a direction that just didn't feel authentic to me anymore. And it was driving me crazy because I'm like, wait, I did this. I'm like, wait, it's not yours anymore. Like, you have no say. Like, that's the other hard part of like anyone that sells a company or anything like that, is that realization, or getting investors in a company.
Yeah.
Like, you realize you have to answer to people and it's no longer fully your decision.
Right.
And that was really hard. So it was time. And left.
Crazy. Which leads to my next question, is that you soon, very soon thereafter, created Catalyst 9.
It was all really scary. It was all scary, all of it since day one. But yeah, within 24 hours, we were transactional. And it was like, I hadn't built a company though since 2018.
Right.
And now it's 2023.
Yeah.
So having to do that all over again, it is scary. Just because you think you're something's like hot shit doesn't mean it carries over, right?
Right.
But I knew that like my mission wasn't done. Like, these people need me, I hope, and like I want to see them through with all these like really cool things we've talked about, and other projects I want to do. And
right.
Yeah.
I think,
and I'm a masochist.
Yeah. I mean, like, you being, you creating DGC and getting it sold, as much as watching you on the other side of it was a process. And like, I know that you withheld a lot of emotions through the highs and lows from me, but I feel like I know you. I just know. But like, through it all, regardless of everything, like I'm so, oh my God, I'm going to cry.
Oh my God. Don't cry as I'm going to cry. I'm already sweating.
I'm going to say it because you never see the side of me, but like, oh
my God.
Like, no, I am genuinely so proud of you, because doing what you did, going through what you went through, selling, and it's a scary thing, right? Because I'm a new CEO, so everything
That's why you're emotional.
Yeah, I mean, everything is so brand new. I'm always fucking scared. I'm scared every fucking day, because I look around and I'm like, can someone help guide me? And everyone's like, no, bitch, we're looking at you. And I'm like, I know what you feel like. And as much as people want, I mean, you carried DGC. Like, everyone associated you to it, and I'm grateful that you were okay with starting over again, and you knew I was going to ride for you. Whether you decided to do nothing, I'll be like, I'm knocking on your door. You're still representing me. You're still going to be here. Like, what are you doing? But like, if anyone had to rebuild and do it again, I never lost confidence in you. Like, I always knew that you were going to be able to do it. And I'm even though we're back to a lean and mean team with the support of, actually a lot of different agencies now, technically, like, I wouldn't have it any other way. And so
thank God.
Crazy. Okay, well, let's shift gears so that I can dab. Speaking of All In, because we've said All In a million times, and now it's just our forever mantra, and it's also my name. But you're also the CMO of All In Golf. I don't know if anyone knows this. I don't even really think we've had time to share. We've only been alive for a couple months, but what has that process been like?
Also learning.
Now we're working together in a different capacity too.
Kind of just like what you said, I would never doubt anything that you decide, like, I want to do this. I think the timing is interesting to do it, but the timing is now from a product perspective and brand perspective. And this is something you've been wanting to do for a few years now. And I'm so glad that you gave yourself the space to breathe and educate yourself and explore like other fashion, because we were with one brand for so long, 7 years, which is a long time, which is great. They're incredible partners, and they still love you till this day, and they're like family. But it was kind of time. You grew up in what you were with them into who you are today, and sometimes those big changes happen, right? But I've known that this is a dream of yours, and we knew it was going to be hard. We knew it was going to be scary, but I think it's been interesting. I've been doing my best to take a step back and let you be the leader. And, we are, like you said, we're all looking at you. Like, we're here to trust your vision. Now you get to tell me what to do.
It's like, so I'm like, I need advice. And you're like, nah, girl, it's you. I'm like, well, shit.
I never launched a clothing brand. Why are you asking me?
I'm like, you got a company bot. What you mean? We're like blind leading the blind, but we're still out here doing it.
But I do not know how to build a clothes. But God willing, like, we will figure it out. And that's the thing, is like, it's really hard, and it's been really hard for you. It's been really hard for, Ash and everybody, but we're all here. We're all still here, and we want to show up no matter like what it takes. I think as much as it's learning for you, it's also learning for me. And, you know, I get to see you in a different light. I'm also learning from you because you're like speaking a foreign language now when you're like talking about warehouses and places in the Philippines.
Which
and
is,
like,
it is crazy.
And line sheets and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? And so, but no, I think it's cool. I think it's challenging. I mean, really, it's a couple years old in conversation, in business starting, but launching, it's only a couple months. And it's really cool to finally see certain people and brands and others like really recognize the power of your brand.
Yeah.
Not just as you as a face and as a talking head, but the community behind you and the fandom you've created that will like go wherever you go.
Right.
But you didn't build something just to build something because it's a trend. It's because you understand. Yeah. Not only as a player and as a woman, but as someone of color, as part of the LGBTQ community, and like understanding women's bodies and all of that, and like the intention that's gone into this and the quality that you spent a lot of money on.
Yeah,
I know because I see it.
Look at the finances. We're like, we got some talking to do. Yeah, I mean, I think it's been really fun being able to work with each other in a different capacity. I think just recently when you texted me and you said, "I'm so proud of you for that email that you sent," and I'm like, I know, me too, because I sound so professional.
Like you're a boss now. You're like a CEO.
Like
it is
different. It is a different transition. I think being able to work together in this capacity, but it's been, I think, fun because you're the one person in my life that has seen me through the highs and lows. So to be able to have someone when I celebrate little wins and you see it and you know me, I'll keep running. And we have so much more to do and to
I know.
grow. Like,
and
we're
that's just the beginning.
I know.
The product is just a small part of it.
Right.
So
yeah, the product is just the thing that carries me over. But I think really creating like the largest women's golf community
and a brand
along with it, I think is going to be like not only the biggest selling point, but like the biggest achievement of my life outside of
and I think you're seeing
stuff.
it. People are seeing it. That's I mean the people that are reaching out to you for custom stuff, which people will see soon,
and on some pretty incredible people soon.
Yeah,
which people wait till October. It's going to knock your socks off. Anyways.
It really is.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. So you know, I think, and that's the thing. It's like, well, you don't stop to think about that.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's another fire that happened right after.
Welcome to being a business owner. What I said this the other day. I'm like, I am not an entrepreneur. Am I running 3 companies? Yes. Do I have a life? No. What is my job? Like, what do I do? I'm like, oh, I'm a firefighter.
Yeah. Yes, we're firefighters. Quite
firefighter,
literally.
Mom.
Yeah.
Educator.
Yeah.
Banker, lawyer,
teacher at this point, like
all of the above.
Disciplinary.
Sometimes, yeah. Have to be on both sides.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay, so I do get these questions often, probably more so that I even tell you, but it's always regarding representation. Other talents, you know, other maybe smaller athletes or influencers and what have you. And they're always asking about what is the best way to go about finding representation? And what would be your best advice when it comes to that, right?
I think there's something out there that's almost telling everybody if like you go viral, you need an agent or a manager, and that's just not the case. And there's also a difference between wanting to like what you do in this space. Just because you're on social media doesn't classify you as this or that. It's like, who are you endemically? Are you an athlete first? Are you a broadcast media host first? Are you creator first? Right? And so, you know, who are you? And what is your day to day? And if you are a creator, you're like, oh, in transition, I want to go like full time being a creator. It's like, okay, why do you want representation? And it's like, well, to get me deals. It's like, well, no, like, okay, but for what? What's your brand? Who are you? Like, back to question number 1. Who are you? What are your brand pillars? What do you represent? What do you want to do? What are your goals? But also really thinking about you being out there, because there's the getting started part, but then it's the people that are like, oh, I'm getting these brand deals, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, okay, how much inbound versus outbound? And that's something to think about too, because it's like, if people aren't reaching out to you for deals, like you probably aren't ready for a manager.
Yeah.
Because the manager is there to help, or an agent is there to help organize and sort through these to get you the best deal or make sure that they're real or help you stay organized so you can focus on your job.
Craft,
right? And so I think if it's not like an influx, like you probably don't need it.
Okay, so that is kind of like on the talent side of things. Now, when it comes to, let's say, brands and maybe the tour, what do you feel like they are potentially missing the mark on that they can do better?
I mean, the tour, I think, has come a long way
I agree
itself.
with that.
And so the tour gets it. They've changed a lot in their control of things. You know, I mean, you're a part of the Creator Council now, and they're really trying to stretch that arm of understanding. But I think, look, it depends on what tour. Like PGA Tour, I think they're getting better. Stuff can always be improved. You know, there's been so many shifts and changes. Obviously, we have new leadership now, and it's almost like you just got to be hopeful and hope that they're bringing in the right people to keep progressing. You know, I do think that there could be more things, which that would take a whole nother
Another podcast,
session.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the LPGA Tour, I'm so excited for the new commissioner, Craig Kessler.
I was just going to ask your
so
thoughts.
great. He's young, he's dynamic, he's innovative. Like, he's done so great at the PGA of America, you know, and even everything he said and what he's already done, like getting additional airtime for the girls, because it was so needed. I think we're finally kind of at this turning point. And look, I have a lot to say, but it's not at a negative. It's really like, what else?
Right.
And then what? And what else? Like, why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening? And I will say, I mean, I think we've talked about this more than a few times of like not understanding the progression of women's golf. You know, women's golf still being one of the fastest growing sports in the country for women, but women owning that segment and growth. And women's golf, the LPGA being the longest standing sports organization for women in this country. How come we're not where like the, you know, NWSL is, or the WNBA, or freaking softball and volleyball? You know what I mean?
Tennis, women's tennis, yeah.
And you're like watching this and you're like, hello. So, I mean, it's a whole, again,
it's
a lot
whole
to
other
unpack
thing.
there. And like, you can only have so many ideas. It just takes one person and one thing to change. And I just hope that no pressure, Craig.
Yeah.
So
if you were the commissioner, what is something that you change or do or implement?
I think it's really talking about my ideas of like, you know, getting more players involved in decisions and understanding, you know, how they're feeling about stuff, understanding the books of the business and operations and where the money's going, how it's being sent, programs, investment back into players. And by players seeing it, meaning programs to better support the players across the board all season long on a global scale, changing the schedule. So these girls are not ping-ponging from San Diego to Korea to Florida to Mexico to Arkansas. Like a swing, like have better swings, because these girls don't make as much money as the men, and they're all paying out of pocket to, I mean, you know best. Like,
yeah, they definitely don't get that little $500,000 stipend or whatever,
or private jets or whatever. And look, I get it. Whatever, come for me in the comments. Let's go. But like, I think there's little changes that could see vast improvements. But I also understand the challenges that will probably come with that.
Sure.
And I get that. Like, I'm not denying, I don't know everything. I want to know. I'm never going to. But like, I think that there are little changes that could actually create big change. And I think there are big changes that would cause a lot of disruption. But with disruption breeds opportunity.
Yeah, I agree.
Period.
Drop the mic. I think that the tour would be surprised at how many brands really do want to help, and they just need a little guidance in terms of like how
they need to be welcomed first.
I think they need to be welcomed, and there needs to be more acceptance, I think. And I think hopefully with this new commissioner, we can get that and get some different sponsors on the board, allow the girls to feel more support.
And I think it's also taking models from other women's sports leagues and industries.
I agree.
Of how to better implement strategies when it comes to supporting the players and amplifying players. Like, you know, I love Nelly. She's incredible. But I think the difference between golf and, you know, the WNBA is like, that's a team. There's only so many players, whereas golf, there's so many, right? And so it's that's probably also a challenge of like, how do we support all these girls? Like, you can't support everybody, right?
Right.
But there's ways of doing things to make things cooler, more current, you know? in reaching consumers. And I think that's a huge one, right?
It's okay. We're already actually winding down. But before we do end, you did mention the Women's Magazine earlier. And I definitely want you to tell me a little bit about that before I let you go. So tell me about the magazine. How did you become a part of it? What is your role in it?
Okay, so Women's Golf Magazine, Australia. It's a 22-year-old print digital quarterly publication. So I pitched them. I was like, hey, would you ever be open to like a column, or maybe we can like test something out? And they're like, what do you want to write about? I'm like, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's on my brain.
Yeah.
Like fashion trend. And they're like, you'll be an expert in women's golf and trends. Cool. So that was about 2 years ago. It's really only like 6 magazines I've written for them. And I've really enjoyed it because it also forces me to do further, deeper research and educate myself on things that I already care about, that I thought I knew about, if that makes sense. And I fell in love with that part. And then I would post about it and people were so curious, like interested, or like, where do I find this? Where I'm like, we need this here in the United States, like culturally now, with the amount of women that are like on their fringe golf. They're not like hardcore in the industry or players. They're like businesswomen or young girls that are getting together, like all these communities of girls. Like there's nothing for them.
Right.
So I waited a year, really thought about it, pitched the owner, which she was already planning to do it. Because I was like, I'm either going to figure out how to do this or we're going to do it together.
Yeah.
Tell me what to do, because I don't know how to build a magazine. One of the most challenging things I've ever done in my life. And I cannot wait to talk about that once this first issue publishes. Just need to get it out. It's a little delayed. Such are all launches, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
But we're almost there. And I'm so fucking proud of like myself and this very small team and the people involved. And like we got incredible contributors and highlighting incredible people and really amazing sponsors that did believe in me and building this. And I can't wait to see it come to life, but it is digital and print. I think I'm going to get some heat for sure, maybe from some competitors, but I don't believe that there are any competitors. So I think at the end of the day, I'm just trying to create something that I can leave behind, whether that's your bank account, whether that is something that will carry on for girls and women.
Well, I think it's really cool. And anytime you get heat for something, you're probably doing something right. Right.
That is true. If you don't you have haters, then you're not doing
then you're not doing anything, honestly. You're not doing anything, period.
Well, and it's like you need to believe in yourself and what you do so much because nobody else is.
Right.
I don't care who is in your circle. Only you are going to believe in it as much, and you got to keep stick with that, or you're not going to be able to do it.
Period. I can attest to that. On doubtful days, you have to be your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah,
it is
and
tough.
It sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're a true testament of basically fighting the odds, and we are now winding down. But where can everyone find you?
LinkedIn is probably
She's
where...
like an influencer on LinkedIn. We were talking about on the drive here. So LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.com/Jess McAlister. JessMcAlister. 1 C, 1 A, 1 L, please. And then Instagram is 3 S's.
Right.
Jess McAlister. And my company, Catalyst9, catalyst9.co. And then Women's Golf Magazine will soon be .com. It's .com.au right now. And then we do have a very small but fast-growing Instagram.
I love that. Well, Jess, thank you so much for joining the party.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun.